What's going on, guys? This is Justin from Box Gaming. I'm here to make a video today about IGP Manager, which is a sort of strategy-based game that's F1 related. You can go sign up for it at igpmanager.com. No spaces, no hyphens, nothing like that. I'll go ahead and put a link at the bottom in the description for this video. I'm sure a lot of you guys are already very familiar with IGP Manager. There are more than a couple of Box subscribers that are part of the various IGP Manager leagues that I race in. Well, I race in two IGP Manager leagues. I race in the one for AOR that's managed by Onage or Jerome Queekle. And then I also race on a different account in Alex Gillen's league that he's set up. AOR races twice a week, Wednesdays and Saturdays at 7 p.m. GMT. And the Alex Gillen League races Mondays, Tuesdays, and Fridays at 8 p.m. GMT. If any of you guys are looking to join the leagues that I am in specifically, those are the two that I race in. My name is just Justin on both of them, so it's very, very easy to spot me. So this is gonna be this first video. I'm gonna do a few of these, not loads of them, obviously, but I'd like to get these out there. So if people are interested in joining the league and or if they're interested in IGP Manager, or they just like the idea of IGP Manager, it sounds like something fun that they want to give a shot, then I wanted to put this out there to make it a little bit easier for them. It's got a bit of a steep learning curve, as you can see on this first screen here. There is a beginner's guide that IGP will throw in your face pretty quickly after you sign up. They'll tell you, go read this, and I highly recommend you do. I'm probably going to cover some of the stuff that is in this beginner's guide here. Some of that stuff I will cover because I haven't gone through the beginner's guide to make sure that I'm not covering any of that stuff or anything like that. So I'm very focused on just kind of doing my own thing regardless of whatever the beginner's guide says. But with that being said, I do highly recommend you go check out that beginner's guide because it's going to have a wealth of information, obviously, about the game that is certainly going to help you get started in the right direction. But let's go ahead and move on. So this is the home page that you're going to see when you first log in and stuff like that. This is what you see every day. So as you can see, I've joined a league. I've created a new account just to do this for you guys, sort of like a test account. You can see up at the top right, it says I'm level 1. It's got the 1 next to the magnifying glass, and then the 1 next to the little picture of the graph chart sort of thing. That's your scouting level, and then your facilities level. The scouting level is the magnifying glass. That determines the level of personnel that your staff that you can hire. So when you're level 1, 2, and 3, you can get staff that is up to level 3. That's the only levels that are like that. So when you're level 1, you can get a level 3 driver or a level 3 designer or a level 3 commercial manager. There's no reason why you would do that. We'll get more into that later. But so you can get up to level 3. Then once you hit level 4, you can get level 4 people. Once you hit level 5, you can get level 5 people, and so on and so forth. So the first 3 levels are a bit weird. So when you hit level 3, you don't get any new people that you can sign up. So the first few levels of the game, you're going to be using the same staff, more or less. You do level up pretty quickly in the early stages. You get 40 experience per race, and it's actually 40 experience to hit level 2. So you'll be level 2 after just a single race, and then we'll find out after the first race with this new account how much it is to get to level 3, but I don't think it's very much, maybe 2 or 3 more races. So maybe 100 experience, 120 experience, something like that. So it does move pretty quickly in the opening stages. That's probably by design, and then it slows down significantly. Anybody that's played, like World of Warcraft or any sort of RPG, really, progression's really quick in the beginning and slow as it goes down. So there's a lot of things on here. We're not really going to get into all of them. You can see there's a countdown. There's a timer. It says 20 hours, 30 minutes, and 3 seconds until the German Grand Prix. It says what time qualifying is at. It says what time the race is at. Those times are local times for me. That's not GMT. It's a local time for whatever your account is set for. Mine is set for -6 GMT. So obviously, the race is actually at 1900 hours for this league. I just joined an everyday league. They race every day in this league that I've joined. We'll kind of talk more about the benefits and downsides of that in future episodes of this, possibly even later in this episode. So what are the first things that you're going to want to do when you first get into IGP Manager? You'll see there's a number of tabs at the top. It says League, Manager, Team, IGP, and then the down arrow will kind of open all of those so you can see what all of them say. Obviously, one of the first things you do after you sign up is find a league, which is very straightforward. The website will ask you when you prefer to race, if you prefer to race with 1 car or 2 cars, so on and so forth. So the website itself does an excellent job of finding a league for you that matches the sort of schedule that you're looking for. So that's not included in this guide. I'm assuming you've already found a league and you're in it and you're ready to go and everything. So the first place you're going to want to go when you first start out is you're going to want to go to the Team tab up at the top. That's what you're going to be using for the most part, is that Team tab. I almost never go to the Manager tab. I almost never go to the IGP tab. And really, you only go to the League tab when you want to see either the standings, the current championship standings, the information about the previous race, or the information about the next race. But still, for sure, the majority of your time is going to be spent in the Team tab, especially right now, because you do have to do quite a bit of setting up of your team. Obviously, there's quite a bit to do. So the first thing that we're going to do in the Team tab is we're going to go to Staff. I find that's probably the first thing that you want to go ahead and just get out of the way. So you're going to go to the Team tab, then you're going to click on Staff. You can see here I have a driver that's been assigned to me, and then I have a Chief Designer, Commercial Manager, Technical Director, and Doctor that have all been assigned to me as well. I did not hire these people. They come with your account. They get chosen at random. The only one of them that really truly matters is the driver. The other people do not matter in the early stages. So do not go out and sign a level 3 chief designer just because they gave you a level 2 guy. You can see I got all level 2s. And I think you do get all level 2s. I don't think you get any 3s, but you can go out and sign level 3s at level 1 if you would like to, but there's no benefit, really. You're going to be getting rid of these people pretty quickly, and they're not going to make much of a difference, and you're going to end up spending a lot more money. Money in the early parts of this game is a lot more important than it is in the later stages of the game. So you do want to be frugal with your spending when you're low level. Once you're sort of late level 6 into level 7, money is no longer an issue. You could hire a new driver every race if you really wanted to. Obviously that's not recommended, but more about that later, obviously. So again, don't bother replacing any of these people just yet. The first thing that I think you should do, you'll notice that it says you have 10 designers, 10 marketers, 10 engineers, and 10 mechanics. First of all, you don't need any marketers. They force you to get one. You always have to have at least one of each staff. So the first thing you're going to want to do is go ahead and downgrade your marketers from 10 to 1. The commercial manager and the marketers have no effect on your account until you get the commercial facility, which is, I believe, at level 5 or 6 or something like that. More on that later as well. We'll get more in depth into a lot of this stuff, so I'm just kind of giving you the basics to start off with. So go ahead, downgrade them. Now, when it comes to your technical directors staff, the engineers and mechanics, generally, roughly speaking, you need twice as many engineers as you need mechanics. in order to replace every piece, in order to replace every component on your car, you will need 34 engineers and 24 mechanics. That adds up to 58 people that you need in order to replace every single component on your car. The engine, the suspension, the internals, absolutely every piece of it. Now, we only have a staff of 40 people, so obviously, even if we assigned one designer and one marketer, we would only have 38 people remaining, and we need a total of 58 to replace every piece. So when you're first starting out, what I would recommend is changing the technical director positions. You want either 12 or 16 engineers. There's no reason to do 13, 14, or 15. It's either 12 or 16, your choice. I would either do 12 or 16. In this one, I went ahead and did 12. I do kind of regret that now. It's been a while since I've been a low-level person, so I may have missed out on some of the tips and tricks, but that's kind of why I created the new account, at least so I could see my mistakes and I could rectify them for you guys. What I would do is probably do 16 engineers and 8 mechanics. I've done 12 and 6. Which gives me 21 designers, but that's way more designers than I ended up needing. It turns out I only need like 7 designers right now or something. So I think it's safe to say that you can probably go ahead and do 16 engineers and 8 mechanics, I think is the way to go. And that will allow you to replace 3 or 4 components at a time. And components don't break until after really 2 or 3 races, something like that. Once a component is below 80%, I'd say, it's now becoming crucial that you replace that component. And that doesn't happen for a while. Certain tracks are more punishing on like the suspension, for example, and will actually pretty much kill your suspension in just a single race. But you'll be able to see the percentage of your component at the end of the race, and you'll know that it needs to be replaced ahead of anything else, basically. Again, in this one, I've done 21 designers, 1 commercial manager, or 1 marketer, 12 engineers and 6 mechanics. But I would probably do, if I were you guys, I'd do 15 designers, 16 engineers, 8 mechanics, 1 marketer. I think that's really the way to go. So next thing that you're going to want to do is you're going to want to replace your driver, because almost certainly the driver that they gave you is total garbage. So what I've done is I've clicked where it says the word driver on the staff page. Click on driver, and that'll bring you to this page where you can search for drivers. Obviously, we can only find drivers that are up to level 3 at the moment. So in order to find yourself the best possible driver when you're first starting out, and it's not easy, and again, you're probably going to replace this person very quickly, probably level 4. I would imagine you're going to be looking to replace this driver, maybe level 5, probably 4 to be honest. This is not somebody that you're going to be keeping on for very long. With that being said, you do want the best possible driver that you can get in order to hit your rewards. You have certain goals that are set for you by IGP Manager. If you reach those goals in the race, you get a bonus amount of money. I mean, this can be anywhere from $500,000 to $1 million or more, I think, in some cases. It depends on, I think, the difficulty of the league and the number of people. It may only be determined by the number of people. It may not have anything to do with the difficulty. More on that later, of course. I know I'm saying that a lot. So first thing you want to do is probably go to show filters, and then you want to change the weight so that it says from 45 kilograms to 60 kilograms, because we don't want any fatties driving our car here, because it does have an effect on speed, and that is one of the few things that you can filter. So there's no reason when you're this low level to go for somebody that's super heavy. You can always train them to become less heavy. Obviously, you can make a fat driver skinny, but that takes a lot of time and effort. And again, you don't want to be putting a lot of time or effort into your first driver. So we're going to go ahead and look for somebody who's super skinny. No restrictions on age, because again, they're going to be replaced pretty quickly. And then you could do a nation of origin. But anyway, after I hit show filters, you can see here, or after I hit set filters, you can see there was only 2 pages of results. I went ahead and sorted them by health percent. Because once again, that's another attribute that is important that you can see very clearly when you're searching for a driver here. This might not be the #1 most important thing when you're looking for a driver later on, but for when you're first starting out, I think it's super helpful to have somebody that has a higher health percent. So what I'm going to do, what I did, is I checked out all of the drivers on this page that were above 70% health, that were level 3. You can see on the overall tab, it says what level the driver is. It says Amanda is 2, Grace is 3, Olivia is 3, ZZ is 2. There's some really weird names in this game. So I went ahead and checked out all the ones that were 3, and then I made a decision. This is who I went with, Jaina Adams, and what made me decide on her is just the graph on the right-hand side. You can see she's heavily focused on physical and kind of a secondary focus on speed. The next 2 biggest attributes after that are technical and defending. Attacking is second worst, and mental is worst for sure. Her mental is not great. With that being said, the 2 attributes that matter the most are speed and physical. At least when you're first starting out. Once again, this is just for right now. So you want to look for somebody that has pretty good physical and speed. And she had both of those things. So first thing you want to do when you're signing a new driver is you want to click on up at the top right where it says comment on J. Adams. You want to go ahead and tell her that she's awesome. I believe Jaina Adams is one of the best drivers of this generation. So you're going to click on that top circle. You're going to hit make comment. And then you're going to go ahead and give her an offer. You'll see there's a relationship meter on the right-hand side, right around where it says chance of success, and that's based out of 10. It's a number out of 10. So it was 5 out of 10, and after I commented on her, it became 6 out of 10, which means I can offer her slightly less money, just because she likes me a little bit more. So you always want to make sure that you're commenting on people before you send in any sort of offer or anything like that, as that's going to get you the smallest amount of money, and it's going to increase the likelihood of them saying yes as well. So I went ahead and offered Jaina Adams here $200,000 per race for 17 races. Now, I'm not going to keep her for 17 races. She will get fired before 17 races is up for sure. Guaranteed. But with that being said, obviously I'm going to break my contract with her. She's not going to be happy about it, but who cares? She's a terrible driver. You're never going to sign her again. Unless somehow she ends up, having 20 talent, which we'll touch on later. And then, you end up wanting to keep her forever. But then you just don't break the contract. It's simple as that. If she's a terrible driver, then, you can break the contract. It doesn't matter. Because you're never going to be interested in getting her back. You're going to be moving on to bigger, better drivers and all that. So you can see here, this is the email that I got. It comes in an email. The driver will respond to your offer 15 minutes after you put the offer in. So it's a bit of a wait, actually. You gotta, you can put in multiple offers. You can put in a few offers for a few different drivers, and then, to come back 15 minutes later, and you got several drivers at several prices and all sorts of stuff like that. Go ahead. So I'm gonna go ahead and accept this. I offered her $200,000 a race, which is like 60% cheaper than the driver I have right now, who is asking for $600,000 or something per race. So there is a signing fee that's non-negotiable. The driver's signing fee is non-negotiable. It's usually between 5 and 10 million. Sometimes it's over 10 million. Generally, it's not. I'd say usually it's closer to 7 to 10 million. Not many are below 7, not many are above 10, but really it's 5 to 12 million in that range. That's non-negotiable. That's just, that's part of the deal. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to hit accept on that one. So now she is our new driver, and I can actually see her stats now. We'll see that in a little bit, because before all we had to go on was the graph. Now we can actually see her stats. The reason for that, by the way, is because we're level 1. Once you get to higher level, you can actually see stats on drivers before you assign them. But when you're first starting out, you just got to kind of go by that graph. So that's going to do it for this first episode. In the next one, we'll be covering the design page, the facilities, and also sponsors.